I pride myself in the fact that my Dark Knight Movie Masters collection is my only 100% complete toy collection that I have. I have everything they did for the Dark Knight Movie Masters series. Now, granted, it wasn't the biggest collection ever, so it's not like I have a lot, but I can't say I have every Black series because I only collect clones. I can't say I have every vintage collection. I could for a while, but not anymore. There's just, not a lot of stuff I can say I have that for. And this thing I'm talking about today is kind of an odd extension of the line, because it wasn't made for the Movie Master series, but it was a Mattel Dark Knight Rises figure. This is Stealth Fusion Batman. So how I came across this one's actually pretty interesting. I decided to go and watch really old Pixel Dan videos, because I love Pixel Dan. He's one of my favorite creators, and he did a lot of stuff back in the day. Like a lot of, random Mattel toys and this, that, and the other. And this was a Matty Collector exclusive item, or at least MattelShop.com. I don't know if it was called Matty Collector back then. I think it was. Now it's not even, it's called Mattel Creations, I think. But yeah, this was like this limited edition Batman, and it had a really weird gimmick. A gimmick that you Star Wars Black Series collectors may actually be kind of familiar with. So the box is very bland, very basic. There is like nothing going on here. It's just the Dark Knight Rises Stealth Fusion Batman. Stealth Fusion Batman is kind of an odd name for it. Kind of makes it sound like it's more of a kiddie toy. Kind of like a Batman painted blue or something, but no, that's definitely not what they're going for here. So let's go ahead and open this up. I already cut the tape, at least for the exterior box. And the interior box is very, very interesting, because this really reminds me of the kind of cool exclusive packages that Mattel did back in the day. And this is a really cool box. So you can see on the top, it says The Dark Knight Rises, Stealth Fusion Batman Adult Collector. And there's actually this big old hole in it where you can actually feel the figure, and that's definitely something to keep in mind. You may see this figure does look a little bigger than what we're used to here, trying to get them matching with their feet. Like you can see, yeah, this is a pretty big Batman. I can tell you it's going to be a little larger than like your McFarlane figures. This is not going to scale with McFarlane. It's a little too big for that. But it's kind of like an 8-inch figure. It's not a 7-inch. And you can see on the back here, we have this Leonardo da Vinci-esque drawing of Batman. And you can kind of see what's going on here with all these interior endoskeleton parts. And this description. Oh, there he is. There's Maddie. What's up, Maddie? What's up, Maddie? How you doing, Maddie? I hate Maddie. Anyways, endoskeletal articulation. This premium collectible Batman figure was scientifically engineered, that sounds like such a Mattel thing to say, to create the most natural joints with an impressive range of motion. We'll see about that. Comprised of a smooth skin stretched over an internal rib structure, endoskeletal articulation offers a completely enclosed joint system, allowing for more authentic surface details and flexibility. So essentially, what that's saying is that this is like those Black Series Hyper-Real figures that Hasbro tried to do like 5 or so years ago. It's a internal endoskeleton with a rubber body. And I've never had a figure like this. And since I do have such a comprehensive Dark Knight, Movie Masters collection, I really just wanted to see what this was all about, especially since it was really, really cheap. I spent like a little over $20 on this, which for an old Matty Collector exclusive, I'm sure it retailed for more than that. So yeah, let's get this open. Let's see what we got going on. So cut and open the top here. He was never opened. This was a never opened figure, and I'm opening it. I'm ruining the value. Oh no, the whole $20. Oh, geez. Oh, everything's coming out. Okay. Is this something, or is it just like a weird... No, it's just a weird, like, part of the box. It's like this... No, it's a display base. Okay. He's got a display base tucked back there. I'll get that out. These are very hollow, kind of underwhelming display base. And the figure itself, he comes with a couple little batarangs that are oddly black, even though I believe they're supposed to be kind of a coppery gold in the movie. He's got a couple very rubbery batarangs. And, oh, geez, the Mattel tied-in capes. Oh, it's so annoying. It's one thing Mattel did back in the day. They really felt the need to tie in the capes. So, by doing that, you had little holes in your figure capes. And sometimes it was really egregious. Like, they absolutely ruined the cape. But this seems kind of subtle. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal. I should have known that these little ties would be in here. They're what every toy company uses nowadays. But see, they're used for, like, fabric. Like, that's the main point of these ties. They're used for, you know, little fabric. Oh, I can see that little hole, though. Can you see that? Even through the plastic? Yeah. Yeah, right there. You see that? Lovely. All right, and let's pull this guy out. He doesn't seem to be tied in with anything. He just seems to be placed in there. Let's go ahead and yoink him. I'm wondering how a rubber figure that is a decade old, no, 12 years old, a dozen years old, I'm wondering how it will move in the year 2024. He's in there. He is really in there. I don't know if the rubber has, like, stuck to the plastic or what, but he was in there, man. And my first impression, he feels pretty heavy. He feels pretty significant and substantial. Oh, he's got really hefty ratchets. That's nice. Really hefty ratchets. Very interesting. Definitely very interesting. I'd be surprised if he had, like, a swivel for the bicep. I don't think he has that. Yeah, this is odd. This is very odd. So, I wanted to bring in this particular Movie Masters Batman because they actually reused the head sculpt from this for the Movie Masters Batman. Like, looking at these side by side, you can see, yeah, that is the same head sculpt. He's got that really growly Christian Bale look. And it's really interesting. One thing that they promoted with this rubbery figure is because it is made out of the soft rubber, it can hold more detail. And looking at it, it does look very detailed. It's very glossy because of the rubbery material. Like, this is just straight up rubber. This is not, like, rubbery. This is rubber. He is made of rubber, which is very odd. But you can see he has, like, a lot of this texture to the suit. Lots of texture sculpted in. And that texture is there on the Movie Masters, but it's far more subtle. It's a more subtle texture. I feel like the paint's pretty much the same. He's got some of the gray highlights here and there. You know, the little gray on the bicep. It's very similar. The belt is very similar as well. A little bit of silver. He's got this little thing on the side. A little bit more detail, actually, on the Movie Masters one. And then on the back, yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. The figure itself, I can already tell you, this is not going to be something to pose. It's said that it allows for, like, hyper-articulation or whatever, but this ain't it, Chief. This will not give you hyper-articulation. It might hardly not even want to stand. Will it stand on its own? Because I can feel there's, like, plastic feet in there, but you can see his toes are, like, just pure rubber once you get to the toes. I mean, he can move. He can. I think those rubber toes are going to be his literal downfall here. Oh, wow, he's got really tight hips. Wow. I feel like those are hardly going to move, though. Yeah, I don't want to really move those out, because I can literally just see that stretching and breaking. Oh, wow. This is very odd. I'm happy I got it, though. As a Batman collector, this is just something really odd to have for my collection. Really interesting figure. So, no, I don't think he's going to stand on his own. So, thankfully, he comes with a display base. Like I said, it's pretty... Like, you can hear that. It's pretty cheap hollow plastic. There's no real front. It just seems like it has random holes everywhere. So, I guess we'll just plug him on. And then let's see if I can, like, get him in a very subtle pose. So, thankfully, his head is a separate articulated piece. That's, like, one of the only things that's separate here. Well, it's actually not, because they did separate the waist and the legs. That is separate as well. And Pixel Dan's popped apart really easy, but mine doesn't seem to be popping apart, so I appreciate that. Yeah, he at least has a waist swivel. That's something. So let's go ahead and try to get him in a pose here. His arms seem to move out decently well. I appreciate that. How far do they move forward? Very tight clicks. Oh my gosh. I think it's all we're getting, man. I think it's all we're getting. Wow. The elbows bend a little bit. This is definitely just... this is like one of those tech demos, but as an action figure, you know? They saw this, like, flexible skin technology with other stuff, and they wanted to try to pull it off. And then years later, Hasbro tried to do it with their Hyper-Reel, and that also didn't work either. You can see, like, looking at this, do you see where the rubber is stretched over the plastic? It is literally just, like, a Mattel-esque articulated body underneath this. Except it has, like, heavier ratchets. Like, that's basically the main diff. Like, I can even feel the joint. Like, yeah, that is... It moves just like a Mattel body. They made no innovation in the actual articulation scheme. I don't even think he has bicep swivels. No, that just ain't moving. No bicep swivel. So let's see if we can kind of get him in a sort of batarang pose, because he does come with these super rubbery batarangs. So that can go into his super rubbery hand, because his hand has like nothing in it. Like his hand is literally, like his fingers are just pure rubber. You see it's a squishing. So let's like subtly move the leg. Can we get it forward one click? Get the knee. Does he have an ankle pivot? No, he doesn't. Alright, let's see if we can get him on this base here. Here, what's the best configuration? Maybe 1 foot right there. 1 foot right there. Wow, the base is so hollow. As you press him on, it like recesses. That is so cheap. Because there's no like inner skeletal frame here. It's literally like as you press it on, the base dips. I don't even know if you can get his feet in there. Because he does have like the plastic base of his feet, but there's still rubber around it. Yikers. Alright. Is he on? No. I don't think he's going on, man. You can see he's got the holes. He's got the holes right there. That it's a plastic hole. That went in. That foot went in. Can we get another foot in? Because, see, I think because he doesn't have an ankle pivot and these pegs are just in random spots, it's not going to work, man. And he's, like, awkwardly rubbery and heavy. Like, this base, I don't think it's going to work. Maybe if I, like, bend the foot like that. Okay, I got him standing. I got him standing. Okay. I got him standing. Meanwhile, this Batman, if I want him in a similar pose, he's got an ab crunch. You know, you can actually bend the elbow. You can actually move the arm forward. You can actually bend the leg forward. Like, yeah, you can actually pose the old Movie Masters ones. Now, granted, not as well as, like, a McFarlane figure or anything imported. But, yeah. I really enjoy the Movie Masters line. And this Stealth Fusion Batman is definitely a very odd cliff note in the history of Mattel's Batman Dark Knight figures. Very odd, very interesting. I'm happy to have it, though. It's just this weird thing that I've just always been curious about, those figures that have, like, the whole rubbery body and an endoskeleton. I've always wanted to get one of those Fison bodies. Those are, like, silicone, though. Those are a lot better. But yeah, this is really interesting. I never got one of those Star Wars Hyper-Real figures because they only made 2, and they're also really, really expensive. Like, nearing $100, something crazy like that. And I would have maybe gotten one for $30, but nah. I got this for, like, a little over $20. I'm happy with that. Very odd Batman. It'll be displayed on my weird Batman shelf, because I have a whole shelf of, like, weird, odd and end, like, retro Batmans. So that's where he'll go, and he will stand there proudly, if he'll stand there. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. Very odd cliff note in the run of Mattel's Dark Knight movies featuring Christian Bale. Let me know what you think. Again, I think it's really odd, really interesting. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.